on a small street covered with falling yellow leaves, where life flows slowly among ancient houses tinged with the color of time, there was a young couple who once loved each other deeply. Their story began like many other love stories: a chance glance, an awkward smile amidst the hurried crowd, and then unexpected meetings became an indispensable habit in both their lives. But love, no matter how beautiful, can also get lost in the maze of emotions, challenges, and the unpredictable. Have you ever loved so much that you lost yourself? Today, you and I will embark together on an emotional journey called Lost Love. The girl named Anne is a dreamer with long, silky hair and deep eyes that always hide unspoken thoughts, and loves reading books, enjoys rainy afternoons, and often sits by the window quietly observing the world. The boy named Min is an introverted but passionate person who loves music and always yearns to conquer new challenges. Min met Anne on an autumn afternoon when she was sitting reading a book under the banyan tree in front of the university gate. A gentle breeze blew through, flipping a few pages of her book, and Min helped her hold on to it. They started talking, and from that day on, every afternoon after class, Min would come to that banyan tree to meet Anne. Time passed, and the feelings between Anne and Min grew deeper. They spent their vibrant youthful days together, coffee sessions by the street, exciting trips afar, walks under the moonlight, and even times overcoming difficulties in study and life together. For them, the world seemed to consist of only the two of them, and everything became meaningful when they were by each other's side. But then, like an unchanging law of life, challenges began to appear. Min received a scholarship to study abroad, a wonderful opportunity to develop his career and fulfill a childhood dream. Anne was happy for Min, but deep in her heart she felt anxiety and unease. She feared that the geographical distance would fade the memories and beautiful feelings they had built together. Min was equally troubled. He did not want to leave Anne, but the opportunity before him was too great for him to give up. Finally, Min decided to set off. Before the day of departure, the two promised each other to keep their faith strong and to overcome all difficulties and challenges together. In the early days apart, they still frequently kept in touch, sending each other long messages and making calls that lasted until late at night, sharing about the events of the day, their deep longing, and future plans. But as time passed, the pace of life in the foreign land swept Min into the whirlwind of work, study, and new relationships. And back in her hometown, also gradually changed. She began participating in many social activities and expanding her circle of new friends. The growing distance gradually made their conversations sparse, the messages shorter, and the promises faded over the years. Anne began to feel lost in her own love. She wondered if love had enough strength to overcome all barriers, to connect two hearts in two distant places. Min could not avoid that worry either. He wanted to hold on to love, but new experiences and challenges required him to focus all his attention on his future career. There was a time, on an early winter evening, when Anne received a message from Min. "I'm sorry. Maybe we should give each other time to rethink everything." That message felt like a knife cutting through Anne's heart. She cried a lot, but then realized that sometimes love is not just about promises, but also about understanding and accepting reality. Anne did not blame Min because she knew that everyone has their own choices in life. Time continued to pass, and gradually learned to live for herself, finding joy in the small daily things: a good book, a favorite song, a walk on a familiar street. Min also gradually adapted to the new life, growing more mature through the challenges in a foreign land. But deep in their souls, both still kept a small corner for each other, a place that preserved the beautiful and sweet memories of their first love. Many years later, when they had grown up, Anne and Min accidentally met again on the very street from years ago. There were no longer the intense emotions of the early days, but between them was a sense of empathy, a gentle smile, and peaceful eyes. They sat together under the old banyan tree, sharing stories about their experiences, the ups and downs of life, and the valuable lessons learned from that lost love back then. Anne realized that sometimes love is not about walking together to the end of the road, but about the steps taken together on a meaningful journey. Even if, in the end, each person chooses their own path, love is still the most beautiful thing she has ever experienced. Min also understood that some feelings should not be held on to, but should be set free to fly away, so that when remembered, Only beautiful memories and gratitude remain. And Min's story does not have a fairy tale ending, but it makes people feel more at ease and mature. Lost love is not a failure. It is a journey that helps people understand themselves better and the true values of life. Everyone needs to go through losses and moments of being lost in order to appreciate what they have and to love themselves and those around them. On that small street, under the canopy of the old almond tree, Anne and Min looked at each other and smiled, no longer filled with regret or sorrow. They knew that true love had never really left. It had simply transformed into another form. Maturity, empathy, and a beautiful corner of memory in each person's heart. And so, the lost love story lived on forever, as a reminder that no matter how many trials one goes through, love is always what makes people better. Thank you for listening to this story until the very last moments. If you have ever loved, ever been lost, or are simply looking for a bit of empathy on tiring days, I hope this video has touched your heart. If you find this content meaningful, don't forget to like, comment your feelings, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss other heartfelt stories coming soon. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next videos.